Test, test. I was talking to myself like a solid 40 seconds there. Probably longer. That was a game I made last year. I gotta remember what it was. That was a game I made last year. People haven't talked about it, by the way. Dad had mentioned it, and it wasn't on my list. I had last done it. But, I finally got it working. I'm working on a couple other tasks. Hard to... Uh-oh. Hello? Oh, that might be a little too loud. How about now? Uh-oh. Much better? Awesome. Oh, it's starting! So one of the things I mentioned earlier is that to get the reindeer to actually roll down, I had to tilt the entire map like 45 degrees, and even then it didn't work. So at a couple points, I just had to add an effect that flings the reindeer a certain direction. You can see those arrows there. That's where those are. And I showed it while I was muted, that within each of the little, like, for each reindeer, there's a hidden marble, which is why they roll around perfectly. Yellow this time. No dice. No dice. If no one wins, the game just doesn't end. That's a bug that I'm well aware of. What's the next project? Let's jump into it. Go and minimize this one. It's one that I've been working on. So, oh, music died. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. We're back. Let me. Okay, it's struggling. Let's close this one. And let's set our engine scalability to like medium or something. Oh wait, no, it just... No, wait, yeah, it's bad. How do I do this? It's been so long since I've been in this engine. Settings. Engine scalability medium. There we go. It's been a while since I've been in this project. A lot of the code that I worked on for the horror game in the hospital, or pardon, the high school, came from this. So this might feel even further behind than the other one did. But this one has been in development for a lot longer, even though there's not as much ready with it yet. A lot of this art isn't art that I've made. It was an asset pack that I've been using. I do want to go back and rework this with my own art. Oh, this is struggling. Hold on. Let's set it to low. I don't know why it's performing so badly. One of the reasons why is because the performance of these meshes aren't all that great. You can see up in the top left, there's a bunch of red text. The first two are my fault. The third one is probably also my fault. Texture streaming pool over the, what does that say, 60 megabyte budget? So, what I'll be doing today is fixing some of the bugs that we found in the high school game. Recollections of the Desolate. And then fixing them here. So like one of them, I don't know, I had just reworked the inventory system, and I don't know if I actually got it to... Oh! No, is the answer. There's gonna be a lot of that. Where I left off last time was essentially just me completely reworking all the code to attempt to be better. The problem is it didn't work when when I'd left it, and now I've forgotten like all of what I was working on. So it's kind of like the worst of both worlds. It's fine. It's fine. We'll come back. We'll come back. We can pull it back. I've had to deal with worse. So it can successfully add, and this music is very cheery and I love it, but let's go with the more chill Christmas music. Also, Merry Christmas, by the way, if I haven't said that yet. You guys are having a fantastic November. Sorry if I sound a little tired. Long Monday, but I am pulling through and we're gonna get some cool stuff done today. The issue that we had, and let's see, one of the bugs that I'd fixed in Rotted was this. I think I want to turn yaw and pitch to false. Let's get GitHub open. Is it still Monday, Wednesday streams? Yep. Same stream schedule. Actually, thank you for reminding me. The Friday streams, the late ones, are also going to be more game dev. This Friday, though, is canceled because I made plans that I forgot about. So let me get Daisy to post the updated schedule. I forgot how to... Oh, there it is. There it is. I know you guys can't see the screen while I'm editing this. Not that there's anything particularly sensitive on this page. You forget a lot of... I do. I'm real... I'm real not great with these things. I need a planner, almost. If it wasn't for, like, the schedule bot that I made, I would forget about these streams more often than I do. I'd like to say that I'm getting better at remembering things, but, I don't think there's enough evidence to support that yet. Okay. If I did this right... Schedule. Yes. Nope, that's wrong. That's also wrong. Hold on. Schedule pings is going to be getting a lot of pings. Bug number 1 of the night. Let's go. Okay, I don't think this page is sensitive. So why did she do that? Next Friday timestamp. That should be good. Because what did she post? Oh, didn't collect her info. Shoot. Because this is just the same as the line above it. Next Friday.timestamp. Alright, let's just do this. I mean, this should be the same exact thing I just tried. Yeah, it is the exact same. Then why did it? What? What? Okay, I do have to hide the screen when I restart her, though. I'm good at these things, I swear, I promise. Okay. Take two, maybe? Boom. Okay. This is wrong. I don't know what she's doing. Okay. I'm live right now, though. Smile. You've got this, full faith. I'm afraid to ping everyone in the schedule pings a third time. Why did that not work? Why did she skip this? The Wednesday event. Trying to see if I had had a typo or because this worked when I did this. I don't know, maybe it needs both. I should have kept a screenshot of what the bug was. What I'll just do is this Thursday I might just delete the schedule so that people don't look at it. And then they just see that it's canceled. And then we'll make the new one next week. Why did Unreal Engine die? What happened? Oh, it did die. We had a bug and it crashed. Ooh, 2 for 2 tonight. How do I get it back? F. Okay. This is Stream Manager. I don't want this project. I want this one. Make sure there's nothing sensitive on this page. Seems to be good. I made a bug fix here. This is what I wanted to find. An ultimate commit. Ah, here we go. Rotator pitch. So pitch should be false, roll should be false. And that should fix my first person issue. Man, it's gonna be weird going back to Unreal Engine 5. I do think that all of my textures will probably look better here though than they do in 4. You know what? We might as well try that. Oh, speaking of, here's one of them now. This is an old one. So let's do new wall. Ouch. And then let me open up a new tab where I have all of my art. There we go. So I'm trying to remember which one of these it was. I think it was School Wall. School Wall Small, I think is what it was. Ooh, wait. No. I think it was just School Wall. Low poly. Do I not have one? School Wall Edge, School Wall High Poly, .aspen. Alright, which of you have wall in it? I need to get better at naming things, is what I'm finding out. Why is it only searching the beginning word? Any, like, oh my gosh. Oh, found it. Boom. Easy, easy. Okay, that's the right one. Now we want to grab the textures for it. I don't know if it's these, because I have a separate texture location. And it's not that. Where does it export my stuff to? Hold on, I think I have to open up Substance Painter to be able to find out. Lots of getting back into the swing of things. It's like I got so used to one workflow, now I'm trying to like jump back into another. Even the lighting, though, it looks... We're on medium scalability setting, but it looks so better. So much better. Okay. Open recent. Let's just do locker. Open output directory. That's what I want. The locker might look good too. That might be an easy one to do. I don't know which of the textures here it would be for the wall. School door. School hallway. Arch, music box, light switch locker, door frame. So it probably was this one. These three. Yeah, that looks right. Uncheck this. And then we need to make a new material for it. Whoops, wrong. Okay. That does look pretty clean. And then we can pull up, for reference, it's not the best comparison. Oh, wait. I was gonna pull up the, web build. Here it is. Again, not the best comparison, but at least like something that's quickly accessible. Red, how you doing, man? Holy crap. I've been good. How are you? Made a horror game for Halloween. It's kind of scuffed. And then I'm going back in to try to like because I did that in Unreal Engine 4 and I'm trying to go back to 5 again after like spending a long time there. So this is obviously the HTML5 build, so we're not going to get as much detail. But even then, like this compared to the medium scalability setting of Unreal Engine 5 is night and day. Let's drop the, it was good from what you saw with how much time you put in. Well, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm proud mostly of like the things that I learned while working on it. The Substance Painter stuff I think is cool. Being able to make my own models for the most part is awesome. Been working as a full stack developer and I've been busy. Hell yeah, man. I've been lurking in your Discord and it looks really cool. Well, I'm glad that you've still been kind of jumping around whenever you can. I totally get being busy. Believe me. I'm so busy that I forget I have plans like every other day. Let's add the locker one, see how that looks. But yeah, hope you're doing well, man. Not sure how long you'll have to spend tonight dropping by. But happy to see you again. Happy to hear things are going well. How's the full stack job? The wainscoting height doesn't match. The height on what? So what did I call this? Did I call this locker? Locker. Oh, the wood boards. Yeah. I don't know when you joined the project. Initially, that was the height, but then people are like, why is the character so short? But then everything was already scaled like to the character at this height. So I just made the wood boards shorter so that the character didn't look as short. So, invalid simulate object. Oh yeah. Unreal Engine's also got some fun simulation mechanics. Check this out. Where is it? There she is. Unlit. Boom. The ragdoll is fun to play around with. I think that's where I left off. Full stack's been interesting. Lots of UI changes. Been doing a lot of C#, and now got pulled into web services, using Angular and C# as a backend. From the time that I spent in C#, I liked it. It was a lot like Java, and Java was what I was trained on first. I think I've warmed up to C++, and I would probably consider that my language of choice. Either that or Python. Mostly just because that's what I've been exposed to the most. But I'm glad to hear it, man. Hopefully everything's been going well. I just got out of like a massive crunch time at my job. We were trying to get something out by Halloween. And now things have finally slowed down again a little bit. I'm sure they'll pick up again soon enough. But I'm enjoying the little lull in activity while I can. Locker. I have two different types of locker. I have the blue one, and then I think I have just like a silver one. But I do kind of like the blue one. So this is the default material one. So it's this one. This one. Default material. Occlusion and roughness. I don't know if I exported this correctly. Because that's not giving me the right stuff. Oh well, you know, we'll throw it in here and we'll find out. Mostly Java experience with the mid C++, but honestly I love C#. It's been such an easy transfer from Java. I gotta get ready for bed in a minute, but I'll try to stop by more. Glad to hear it, man. Well, I've said that a bunch, but legitimately, I'm stoked. But sleep is important. I know I stream at odd hours, so definitely prioritize that over dropping by. But always a pleasure to have you come in. Take it easy, man. Have a good one. Sleep is life? Honestly, you speak the truth. And you don't recognize how badly you need sleep until you go like a week without getting a good amount. Because it is just a miserable experience. Oh, it's been years? No. Don't worry, as soon as they go to college, you can get sleep again. Oh, that looks great. Deal. What's up with this thing? I have a feeling it's an occlusion, which means I exported the wrong thing. We have this open though, so we can easily just get the right ones out. We export. It looks like I probably did this one on accident, the Amazon whatever. In reality, I wanted this minus emissive. Now if I open this, it'll hopefully be the ones at the bottom. Just kidding. Where did it save my stuff to? What? So it should have made a normal. Oh, did I have it flipped? Oh no, maybe I was right, and I'm just going insane. Because the normal on this one is just like, look at this. Unless I just exported this one incorrectly. Because this one... wait, hold on. I am losing my mind. What is... This is the one. This is the one that I wanted to import. Not this one. That's why it's all messed up. Okay. Easy fix, easy fix. Watch this. Oh. So this, we actually want to get rid of this. I'm so glad I've got like 10 of the same thing named the same thing. It makes it so easy on me. Alright, undo. Save. Close this. Delete this. Force delete. Use the force to delete it. And then this yellow one is what? Just kidding, we have the yellow one. This one. This is what we're missing. I think that's right. That looks weird, though. Hold on. Oh, wait, no. I think that's right. I don't know. Good night, Ren. And chat, keep up the good work. Love the new logo. Thank you. I died in Alan Wake 1. No. Oh, Basti, you missed it. Can't believe you missed it. Check this out. All right, chat, watch this. Where is it? Hold on. I can find it, I swear. Did I get rated on Twitch? Why are there so many of you? Hi. Where is it? Where is it? Trust, trust, trust. Trust. Okay, the moment I point it out, people leave. Pick a color. The simplest thing you can do in life. It's, oh, someone already chose, blue has been chosen. You can choose multiple. Well, okay, well you can't, but like, multiple people can choose the same color. Now you might be asking, what's gonna happen after a minute? Well, you have to stick around. I was doing well. I had just gone to pay Maine's radio. I was halfway. Rough. Rough. I don't know. There's a lot of... What could possibly happen? I have no idea. Oh, we just keep losing people. I don't know, like... I think they don't like waiting. It's a shame. You're not going to see it. Only 20 seconds. Oh, man. No winners. It doesn't have an exit button, by the way, so I just kind of have to, like, put the pillow over its face until it stops. Please. Please. Well. It's fine. I made this, by the way. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. We're good. We're back. We're back. Love the texture on this? Thank you. I feel like it should be a bit shinier, though. Am I wrong? Like, it doesn't look as blue as this does. I don't know whose fault that is. You hate the texture on this. Okay, well... everyone's a critic now, I guess. Bit shinier. Normal intensity. Oh, gross. Okay, put it back. What about saturation? I can kind of vibe with that. How about contrast instead? I think I vibe with contrast more. The Alan Wake challenge is quite fun, but now I despise the live-action TV sections and the previously on parts. Well, I'd recommend if you have a spare 3 months. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Thank you, though. I appreciate the concern. So, if any of you are just joining us, and most people have left at this point, so if you're stuck, if you've stuck around, you might be asking, what is it that I'm working on? What is this game? This game is called Return on This Day. I started working on it at the beginning of 2024, so a couple years ago. A lot of the back end, so the code and the blueprints and the interactables, I have finished. Sorry, I have like hiccups. And this last game that we made for Halloween, I ripped a lot of those back end pieces out and stuffed them into a much smaller game, just to kind of proof of concepts to get something out for Halloween, because this one wasn't quite done yet. And there's still a lot to go. What I wanted to do today was actually start making some room designs for the mansion. Now, if you don't know what the gameplay loop is, maybe you are like absolutely new here. The overall concept is, let's get Notepad out. Oh, okay, thanks, Gimp. No. When are we playing the Alan Wake 2 DLC? To be determined. To be determined. The basic loop is that you have a mansion. I've been waiting for a while. I haven't had the time. At some point. We'll... So, you have the mansion, and the basic concept is that you as players, and let's say that this is you. There you go. You're this little oval thing. You and potentially up to 4 or more friends. I would like to add more than 4. most co-op horror games are for, and just most co-op games are for, I think 7 would be fun. Just to kind of stand out and be like, oh, we have a group of 5. What are we playing tonight? Well, we can't play Peak. We can't play Lethal Company. We can't play Reap. Oh, we can play Return on this day. Because it allows 7 people. Look at that. Plus 7's it's a cool number. Anyway, the idea is that it's very much taking inspiration from games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. It's designed to also kind of blend in some DNA of games that are more popular today, like some of the Friend Swap, Repo, or Phasmophobia, and try to blend like that arcadey vibe with a more long-term, slower-paced campaign-like horror game. Because a lot of the horror games that we see today, the co-op ones specifically, are meant to be almost like an arcade-type game. You can think of Lethal Company, Phasmophobia, or Repo, and a lot of it is go inside the thing, do the thing, get out. And after about 30 minutes to an hour, like that's the end of that little segment, and then you go back in, do it again, but it's bigger levels or a slightly different entity or ghosts or whatever, what have you. Not criticizing that at all, mind you. That's a very fun gameplay loop, and I like it a lot. But I think that what we're missing is something that's co-op like that, but is a bit slower paced. And I wish I had a map laid out here. But we have the very early blueprints of this map here. And the intention is that you are being stalked throughout the mansion by a monster, but it's not something that is... How do I describe this? It's more of a deterrent than like the thing you're absolutely focused on, which in some ways is kind of inaccurate, but we'll ignore that for now. Your objective is just to explore the mansion, solve puzzles, unlock doors, and the monster is just there to deter you and provide some sort of opposing force. The monster does play another role, which at some point I'll get into a little bit more. But I like the idea of, more so than anything, the safe rooms. I feel like that contrast between the fast-paced horror of the hallways and the puzzle rooms with you are now in a safe space. But for how long? You're in that safe space until you have to leave and continue your objective, either solving puzzles or walking down the hallway collecting things. Hey, Raph, how you doing? Glad to see you, man. Glad to see you. So, it's difficult now for me to fully explain and articulate because a little tired at the moment. But B, there's not a lot of a playable concept for me to throw at all of you. So I've really got to work back up to sort of where I was with the game we were just working on, which was Recollections of the Desolate. This point forward, probably just going to call it Recollections, because it's a very long name. And that game was playable, at least enough to the point where I could show it off to new people who'd come in. This game is a lot more mechanically dense than Recollections was, and so kind of explaining all of it at once isn't how the game is meant to explain itself to the player. A lot of it kind of gets drip-fed over time until the player is comfortable with the mechanic, and then something new is introduced. And so right now what we're working on doing is building the levels. That way there's something visually appealing. When new people drop in, it's not just these mess of meshes, but rather actual levels and maps that we can walk into. The art from Dirt Rock did an amazing job doing this up until now. I have my issues with it. It's very nice looking, but also very expensive, and taxing on my machine. I can zoom in and we can look at the super fine detail on this, which is good. But even, these designs are modeled into the door, and we can use normal maps to get that effect, We don't need all those polygons. We don't need all these textures to be 4K, but they are. And so by making my own assets, ultimately the performance will hopefully go up also. Oh, and then here's the courtyard. This might have made a better thumbnail, but maybe next week. Like this. These I made myself, I think. No, just kidding. This one's not me. That was also Dirt Rock. You're good. Nice. I have a question. You've never left America except that one time. Have you ever been on a plane? I have. Oh, a mess. No, you're good. I went live... How long ago? Oh, a little over an hour ago. Or a little under an hour ago. Whoops. It's all good. It's all good. Welcome on in regardless. Can't you just alter the existing assets? Yes. Oh, the music didn't like that I said it like that. But I'm having a lot of fun making my own. And I think if I make my own, I can have a consistent artistic style. Because, like, this locker is mine. Like, I made the model for it. I did the texturing on it here in Substance Painter. I have absolute control over how it looks, what dent is it, and where. And so I can go and edit his assets. I could, like, reduce the meshes. I could go in and make normal maps for them, make lower poly versions. But I'm not the only person who's used this asset pack. There are plenty of other horror games that have it. And so rather than trying to take something existing and forcing a square into a round hole, I might as well just work from the ground up. Because that's something I somewhat learned how to do with Recollections. All of that to say is that we're going to be doing some room designing today. First room I think I want to design is probably something simple, like a living room like this. I'm trying to plan this out, and let's go ahead and go into Unlit. Carpet is easy enough to do with like a plane, and that's just going to be a texture. Here, I don't how many polygons is there? It doesn't look too bad, but like there's a lot of detail here that I don't think is super necessary. The wood floor can... Oh. So he made his actual planks, because you can see where the edges are. You can see through them, which is neat, but I don't need that. Fair enough. I still suck at modeling and also texturing. Texturing in Substance Painter is a lifesaver. It does 90% of the heavy lifting for me, to the point where I don't feel quite right calling it my texture, because it's really just a lot of cool, you know, DIY pieces, and I put it together. Oh, I forgot that I added, like, the thing where materials shine. Man, I was somewhat good at some of this stuff. I don't know if that's how I want to do it still. I might just have like a particle effect that sparkles. Okay, so let's start with something simple. 4 walls, maybe a door. I also want to try to be smart this time from the beginning. One of the issues that we had with Recollections was that oftentimes I would want like a very unique shape, and I would end up having to stretch something, messing with the UVs a whole bunch. But then if I made a very small object, when I applied the texture to it, it looped a bunch, which didn't look good either. So I think the goal here is to use bigger textures, but build them so that they can be used with like a world space node, to where the UVs stretch along with the mesh itself. Thanks. Let's start with... I don't know if the floor should be a mesh or a cube. I also want to have the scale set correctly from the beginning so that I don't have to... Hey Odin, hey Blue, welcome both of you. I want to have the scale set correctly from the beginning so that I don't have to mess with scaling once I get into the engine. I'm trying to think. I'm done answering personal questions, Odin. Got James Bond over here. Okay, let's see how big this is. This is 2x2. Let's call this room. Selected mesh. Mansion. New folder. All room. Can't detect import type? What? Did I import this correctly? There we go. I don't know what was up with that. As to what the heck are you talking about? Okay, so this is too small. Actually, wait. So, going back to like an early design, which I still want to keep. Do you guys know what algorithm X is, by any chance? Oops, messed that up. Hold on. How do I use this? How do I use this app? Okay. The idea is that I have this given space here. right? And it's a grid of X by Y numbers. So like, let's say the level is determined to be a small level and it generates this. I have a subset of rooms. Hold on. There we go. I have a subset of rooms. So like, I have one room that's a square of 2x2s, maybe one that's a hallway of 1x3, maybe a hallway that's a corner. So you'll notice that like a bigger room consists of 4 little quads. So I should make my floor 1 quad. So like that room we were in just a moment ago, like this one should be, you know, a 2x2. And I think I did this exact thing. Let's see. If I go back to level prototyping, maps, rooms, room constructor. I'm fairly confident. Oh, why is it 5? I was gonna say, I was fairly confident that that was a 2x2. Let's go out here. Let's grab this. Okay. So now, let's click... Okay, I was wrong. It is not a 2. It's slightly bigger than a 2. Which is kind of annoying. What is going on in chat? I need to figure out why I did this, because I was very particular about the room size back then. Because if I go to the level constructor here, like, I declare it and I offset them by a very specific amount. 250. And then 500. So hold on, let's find out what the scale actually is. If I were to go back into Blender and then change this scale, why is it? Why is the scale not showing? Oh, there it is. What would it be? 3? Probably C++. Most of it's written in English. Okay, so now that I re-exported that, actually, did I pull the trigger on that re-export? No, we did. Okay. I go back here, and I re-import. Okay, now that's too big. What's the solution? Is it 2.5? Oh, it is 2.5 because it's scaled to 250. And like, I guarantee you it's like a 1 to 10 ratio or something stupid like that. Why did I do 2.5? Why would I do that? That's so stupid. I mean, yeah, that's it. Why? That's awful. Can I play from here? Why not? Nice. I don't know, this room seems kind of big. I might make the quadrants smaller. Maybe like by a factor of 2. Because 250 is kind of a lot. Before exporting things from Blender, make sure the scale is 1.0. How do I do that? Like this scale? So like, apply all transforms, like that? Does that have an effect? Because if I re-import it now, will it change the size and shape of this? Or is it going to be the same? Re-import. It is the same size. Oh, sometimes it can cause problems. Got you. Good to know. What was the problem you were having, by the way? Maybe we can figure it out. Because I know you got stuck on a couple things. I think... I'm going to go with 2, just because that's probably going to be easier to divide. Oh, wait. Oh, you don't have any more? I'm stuck on making good-looking terrain. Oh, let me show you this. Edit, preferences, get extensions, Ant landscape. Add mesh, landscape. Let's get rid of this. Add mesh, landscape. Has a drop down of a whole bunch of different noises you can do. So you can make large terrain. You can change the seed. You can go with like a canyon. You can go with cliff. River. Can I use it for commercial stuff? I believe so. Let's see what it says. Ant landscape. Can I use ant landscape for commercial use? I use Blender. I guess I should specify. Let's see, here we go. The Ant Landscape add-on, so yes, you can use Blender Ant Landscape add-on for commercial purposes. The Ant Landscape add-on is a built-in feature of Blender. Of both Blender and its official add-ons are distributed under the GNU General Public License. This license guarantees freedom to use the software for any purpose, including commercial projects. And we can see that here. I just didn't know what GNU meant. There you go. Go and get rid of this. The reason why I paused... Oh, let's undo a couple times, because I deleted that terrain I wanted, or that cube I wanted. The reason I paused, I was going to say that 2 is much easier to work with when dividing stuff, and I guess that's right. I'm just thinking, like, 2.5 lends itself to, like, multiples of 5 better. Obviously, the best here is 1. But my concern is that 1 is too small. Like, let's bring this over. And obviously it wouldn't have to, like, I wouldn't have a room standalone just be this one block. But would I ever want a room this narrow, I guess, is the question. Or, like, would I want something this narrow? Maybe. Because going back and talking about this grid, like, would there be a reason why I would want to have a grid this small? Because right now what I'm trying to do is choose the grid size. And I think if I go with something too small, it's just kind of like more work than I need it to be. Like a lot more copy pasting. Because if I wanted a room that size, I would have to like make a whole bunch of these. Well, let's... Oh, that does not look good. Hold on. Let's see how this would look if I made like a 3x3. I guess. Why not have different sizes? Choose which one you need when you need it. Good question, Raph. The answer is because I want them to fit in a grid, almost like a Tetris. So let me pull up the... there was this awesome example I had a while ago. I lost it. This one will kind of work. So in this case, the idea here is that each color is a room. So when a map is being generated, it figures out how to organize these rooms in a way that they all fit together and they make one cohesive floor plan. And this grid size, this little block here, is the size I'm determining. This size has to be consistent across any room. How many I have and how many I have adjacent to each other is what can change. There's no limit on that. You don't want to say what game you're working on? Keep your secrets. And the easiest thing, or I guess like the most sensible, would be to make it small. Like go as small as possible, like scale of 1, and then blow up from there. But the issue is, I think that would be like, I don't know, that might be too much. If rooms are too big for what you need, then you need a smaller grid size. Yeah, I think you're onto something. It'll be much easier for me to go, like, to make a big room with a smaller grid size than it is for me to go the opposite direction. Like, if I want a really small room, but my grid size is too big to where even, like, a tile of 1 by 1 isn't small enough, I would have to go back and undo everything else. So I think you're right. I think we should just stick to a tile size of 1. Okay. Let's do that then. This doesn't feel too bad. Let's see how it feels with us standing on it now. Like this would be a closet or something maybe. And then let's compare this to the social room that we have here in terms of size. So this is a little bit smaller than this room. Now let's do one more thing. You don't need to go all the way down if you don't need rooms that small. Just go as small as you think you'll ever need. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Like, how small would I need? Because I also don't want to write myself into a corner and try to think of the worst and best case scenario now. I would like to make something modular that I can really make almost anything out of it. Like, this feels comfortable, but this would be a 4x4 room. And the other thing, too, is, would that mean that these textures loop this much? And so I would guarantee have to work with the world coordinate space materials, which I was somewhat hesitant to, but I guess this would kind of force me into a corner with it, because here I could get away with, if we go underneath it, this loops evenly, but like within this, I mean, this also loops a bunch of times within the same size. I'm trying to think here. I don't know if if anyone gets the point I'm trying to make, but like, this is the maximum size of a single UV that I can use, a single texture. And so if I wanted something bigger, or something that didn't loop as often, I really wouldn't be able to do that here. Unless well, I guess that's not true. I could just like make this all one UV in Blender and make a custom floor. I still think this is going to be the easiest, because that way in Blender, I don't need to do the math. I can just be like, okay, I need something that's, like, if I do, like, that's a valid size of a room. Like, that will fit with the grid space. Even though this doesn't comprise of the shapes, it will fit in the grid space because it is a factor of 1, or it's divisible by 1. But if I did a grid space of 2.5 or 2, it wouldn't. This would be an invalid size. Yeah, I think you're right, Raph. I think using a grid size of 1 is probably the best, just because the workflow is so much easier. Like, I don't need to do any kind of conversions here. So in this case, if I want a room of that, what did we say, that 4x4, that's what it would be. Because that was this. And let's compare that with the living room here. It's probably going to be about the same size. A little smaller. But this also isn't a perfect square, so it's about the same. So let's use this as our base. Let's use our Z as not a 1, but maybe, I guess a 1. I didn't get a chance to scan it, but I did see it. Oh man, I'm trying to think now. Do I need to make it bigger than 1? I think 1 is a mistake. Because then, like, the floor above has to be a huge leap. If you're making a scalable system of this scale, I'd heavily recommend making a system that can be reused in future projects. Another tool for you in the future. That's not a bad idea. I did get something working. I don't know where it is. Not the widget manager. I would have to hunt it down. I'd probably look in the old streams. There's this code source that I use called G-code, which organizes these rooms with a very, very constrained set of rules that I predefine. And so, essentially all of that is just to say, I have a library of rooms. Like, let's say I just have an array of references to rooms. Like, this is 1 in the array. This is 0, or this is 0 in the array, this is 2 in the array, this is 3, and so on. And the algorithm can look at that list and say, okay, I want this room, put it here. Now I want this room, put it next to it. And it knows that it fits because that's how that algorithm works. Then it picks this next room and says, well, this spot here is taken up, but I want to put it here. And I also want the doors on each of these rooms facing each other so that they can be entered. And if it's good enough, you can upload it for other people to use. I definitely do want to upload, by the way, a lot of the art that I made and the models I made for Recollections, so people can download that off itch. That is still the plan. Now, when it comes to this, I'm trying to think algorithmically, is there a reason why this should be also a grid of 1, like a height of 1 for the floor? Because what that would mean is, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Right now, it's hard to see because the wall's in the way. Delete this. You see that this is the floor, and then right above it is the second floor? if I had the floor like this be a scale of 1, then that means that the second floor would have to be like this much higher up. Which isn't impossible, I would just make the staircase a bit taller. But that kind of adds more depth to it, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. 4:30 a.m. I would recommend sleep if you've got stuff to do tomorrow. Making a generic system that can be reused can take a fair bit of time to make. The long-term time saver, but it seems you need this tool for this game anyway. Yeah, that's kind of the point. I'm not rushing to make it, by the way. So I'm not, it's not like Recollections where I have until, oh, this is probably copyrighted music. I don't know why it moved away from Christmas. Loop. I woke up when I joined the stream. Nice. The only concern, so I do want to have it to where the floor is not a scale of 1. That's what I would prefer. But the issue is, in doing that, that kind of throws off the grid. Because now, like, where's my drawing tool? If you were to take it and rotate it, it wouldn't be, like, the floor 2 would not be 1 up on the grid of floor 1, or however many it would be, probably like 2 or 3. It would be like 1.56 or some random number. But do I need to program it like that? Because the algorithm isn't doing anything besides saying where on the grid it should go. I get to define how that's executed. So if it says, hey, this first room should go on spot 0, 0, on X, or pardon, on Z level 0, so floor 1. And then the next room, same thing, but on floor 2, the next floor. I could have it in my part of the code that says, well, this one isn't a 1, it's a however many a floor is. I'm trying to think, is that going to be a problem? I think so. Shoot. I'm trying to think of an edge case where this is going to kill me. Oh man. Okay. Like the edge case I have in my mind is like a room that's sharing multiple floors. So let's go back into the engine. It's like this room. It exists on multiple levels. I think that would be fine. I'm not super confident though. Okay, better question. How much work would it be for me to go back and change it if I don't like it? Not a lot, right? Like not a bunch? You need a way to tell the system that this room takes 2 cells on the Z-axis. Yeah. Let me... I have this somewhere. I should dig around for it and try to find it. Hold on. Let me dig around for it. Not here. Aha! Boom. I don't know if this still compiles. But this is the concept. Was that I have this L-shaped room. And then I have... This is the location for each door. And let's draw this out, because this might not make a lot of sense to people. It makes sense to me, but many things do. Because I'm the one who write them. And it's like chicken scratch. Okay. You're just gonna go over here for now. So, 0, 0. So it's saying first cell 0, 1. Second cell 0, 2. Third cell. And then 1, 2. Fourth cell. That third number, all of it is 0. So this is just a single floor room. Your internet is acting up a bit, no worries. And then this part here, we have 4 different versions of it because these rooms can rotate to be able to fit better. And so this is it at 0 degrees. This next part is essentially saying the same thing, but rotated 90. So 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, and then 2, 0. And then this part here tells me where the door is. So the door is on 0, 0, and it's facing south. So this is the first door to that room. There's a second door on 1, 2. So 0, 1, and then 0, 2 facing east. That looks wrong. Did I do that wrong? Oh. Oh, I was counting wrong. So this 2 facing east. So this is the second door. And then when it's rotated, it's just keeping track of where the doors are. And so that is how the code base is keeping track of the room shape and size. Now, what about your question of what if a room takes multiple levels? Well, we see that here with the staircase. We have 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So this part is here, but on the second floor, and then 2, 0, 1. So if we were to look at this from like a different point of view, it would look like this. Where like this is the staircase the player would go up. And then same thing, we give it doors and accesses and stuff like that. In this case, if we had the floor be one full grid piece, then something like this would feel super awkward. Because the floor wouldn't be the top of this first grid, it would be essentially the top of grid 2. So I think the solution is pretty simple. Make the floor of 0 depth. Make it what a random recommendation to get, yet here I sit. Welcome. I don't know how long you've been listening to me yap. Has this been making sense? I hope I've been at least somewhat sensible. Let's see if this runs, by the way. How do I... Oh, it's an executable, right? It's C++. I could probably run it in here, though. Aha. Nothing like running executables on my machine. Well. Okay, hold on. There might have been just a little bit of goofiness happening there. Okay, let's try this again. Also, hope you're having a good night, Akiomi. That's important. I probably should have started with that. Hello. Oh, width height. So, I don't know, 7 by 7. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Let's try the non-debug version. Okay, room 15 by 15. There it goes. Okay. So floor 0, floor 1. Perfect. The grid system shouldn't handle what's going on inside the room, just deciding where they'd be placed. The room should be made with their interiors already decided, then the doors are placed between them. Yes, to half of that. I'll talk about the doors in a second, because that's Basti once said, like, doors are the most simple yet complicated thing in existence for a video game. But yes, I agree. The interior of the room is not decided by the algorithm. It's just telling the room where it should go. 100% agree. And that's why it makes sense here, in this instance, to keep the floor as a single plane. Because what I can do is I can just have the room underneath it not go all the way up to its full height. Is just put the gap in that 1x1 grid. So if this is a size of 1, I can use like 0.9 of it. That way these can sit directly on top of each other. To your point about the door though, the doors do need to be determined beforehand. Because as I'm designing a room, like this hallway for instance, I want to be able to build this room knowing where my doors are going to be. And if I want this door to link up with like this one, like let's say this is the foyer, and it has a door here and here, then the algorithm needs to know that it should put this L piece in this corner here, but not up against a part of the room that don't have doors that it can connect to. Does that make sense? Or am I misinterpreting what you were saying? Like here, for instance. True, that makes more sense for doors. Yeah. Because initially I used a much more simple algorithm called Algorithm X, which did this really, really well. But it couldn't do the door thing. And that was what I needed. Because essentially what it was doing, and let's get this back, is it was making these Tetris pieces. And it was saying, okay, you have this T shape, it can go here. You have an L shape, it can go right next to that T shape. You have this square, it can go right there. And then all of this. And it would make this orientation in an instant. But then my question was, well, purple piece has a door here. but the green piece has its door here. Is there a way that I can fix that? The answer was no. The only thing that I could do was have it so, okay, after you generate a level, does it have a door that matches? Which could work, because it starts with this first one, and then there's no other door for it to connect to, so it's good. Then it adds this second one. Let's say it's bad, so it gets rid of it, and then maybe it puts this one here and tries. The issue with this is I don't know how long it'll take to generate a map, because there's no guarantee that a door will fit for this orientation. So then I could have it backtrack and get rid of the most recent room and try again, but that's kind of more of a addressing the symptom, when the flaw itself is just the overall design of that algorithm. It's not meant to be used like that. This is, it's called G-code, so it's a library. So if we go back to like this stuff, you can see there's like all of this stuff that's not mine. G-code is, I believe, public domain, or at the very least, commercially usable. G-code, licensing. Permission is hereby granted free of charge to any person obtaining a copy of the software and associated documentation files. The software, the deal in the software without restriction, including without limitation, the rights to use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, sublicense, and/or sell copies of the software, and to permit persons to whom the software is furnished to do so, subject to the following condition. The above copyright notice and this permission notice shall be included in all copies or substantial portions of the software. Software is provided as is, so essentially they're saying, don't talk to us, don't email us. I've seen systems where doors are also randomized, but those are usually for more generic dungeon crawler type games. Yeah, so there might be some newer people here tonight. So let me explain why I wanted to do it this way, rather than the more traditional level generator. Let me look at this up. Unreal Engine. Procedural room generation. Oftentimes, with procedural generation, and what's the shortcut for that? Shift Control V. You get something that looks like this. This isn't bad, but there's not a lot of control to it. Now, you can probably get closer. Something, say, like this. Which is closer, but each room here is the same size, but, you know, they could probably combine these grids if they wanted to. But here's the other issue that at least I have with this. I want control of the exterior shape. Why do I want control of this? Because I want the transition from the player walking outside to inside to be seamless. By saying you have a mansion, it is of 10 by like 5 pixels across. It'll make the mansion, and then I know that the exterior is of that size and shape, so I can make the walls surrounding it. And all of this just to achieve a little neat effect Whereas you're walking up, if you're playing with multiple people, you can see your friends inside the mansion. And then maybe see the monster behind them. I just think it's neat, and I haven't seen too many people do it. Oh, shading? Oh no. Good luck, soldier. Yeah, I'd let the engine do that for me. Now back to G-code. I'm pretty sure I remember there being an issue with this. And that I don't think this is correct. Because the staircase is at 06 rotated 90. Which is this one. 90 rotated is this. So 0... Where's its door? Its door is... north? So that actually does make sense. And that lines up with I's 180, so this one. South door at 030. Wait. No. What? Hold on. Oh, it does. That's just confusing. Wait, no, what? I think I did this wrong. Unless, how, okay, what do I mean by north and south? What does that mean? What does that mean? Does the connecting door face south, or is my door facing south? I might have messed this up. Back to this example. So 00 south. Okay, so south is the direction the door itself is facing. And then east. So when I said this eyepiece is 0, 1, 2, 3. This 03 should be facing north. And then 02, so 0, 1, 2, this one's facing east. It should be like that. Anyway, that's a skill issue on my part. I think the code itself is actually good. I think it did have issues though, like on certain numbers. So like if I did 20 by 20, it just gives me the same shape. You gotta go for a bit. I'll try to pass by later if you're still streaming. If not, good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you for dropping by. I probably will be wrapping up here in a little bit. I usually only go for about 2 hours during the weekday dev streams. The Friday ones are usually a bit longer. Also, I will not be streaming this Friday. I don't know if you saw in the Discord. I'm trying to think here. Because I also want this to be random. And it's not, it's generating the same shape it just did. So if I do like, I don't know, like 10 by 10 again. In that case, good luck. See you guys next week. Take it easy. Take it easy. Have a good one. It could just be that it is random, because I remember putting randomness in here. But because there are so few doors and options to give it, it's just not making a new combination. I hope that's the case. Either way, the scalability of this is actually pretty good. Let me link to all of you the G-code stuff. I don't know if any of you have any interest in learning about this, but it is free to use. And you can use it for a whole bunch of different things. So let me pull up some of the examples they talk about here. Where is the documentation? Oh, that's the send more money one. I don't want that one. Why is this site not reachable? Well, that's not good. I guess we'll talk about it more next time. So, today was definitely a lot more of a, like, design dev stream. We didn't really do too much actual... Well, we did fix one thing. Yeah, what's up? I couldn't tell you one thing you did today. Well, let me tell you one thing I did do. I fixed the character controller. Yeah, that's right. Look at this. Look at this. This is the wrong file. Look at this. I turned these two true statements into a false. Now wait, before you go. Before you go. I think there's one last thing we gotta do. I think there's one last thing we gotta do. You have 1 minute. We have blue, we have yellow, we have green. No one for red yet. Oh, and you're learning. What's going to happen in 5 seconds? Who knows? Blue with a commanding lead. Oh, but green tries to take it. Who's gonna win? Did anyone vote for green? Oh, Hoden did. Well, congrats. So close, I know. Do we do another, or do we call it there? And then we'll just see y'all next time. What is next time? I feel like Daisy should be nuking half of these chat messages. What's going on, Daisy? Can someone type, "I hate this stupid bot" in chat real quick? Another? Okay. No. That's a phrase that'll trigger her. At least that's the one I test with. Maybe she's just been okay with everything? I'm not that dedicated to this. Once more. This is the final time. Thank you, Kiyomi. So that tells me that no, she's not working. Whoops. Well, that's something else I gotta do. I gotta fix her. Again. Ugh. Okay, we have blue, we have red, we have yellow. Did anyone change color? I can't remember what people voted for last time. Also, I made this in, oh, okay, well, YouTube still has their own filter, okay? So it's not like Wild West. It's just the backup that is Daisy is not working. Then once this is done, I'll open up the project real quick just to show it off, so if anyone wants to see what it looks like. The project for this map. All right. Looks like blue is in the lead. But how long? Will he hold it? Oh, he still got it. Ooh, a little too excited. Oh, and he fell off of the course. Oh, green. The color no one voted for. So, fun fact, there's a bug in this where if no one chooses the right color, it doesn't close. I have an honest question. Do the horses drop because you couldn't get the gates to open properly? No, the horses do drop correctly. Let's close this. Or the gates do drop correctly, and you can see them. Hold on, it's thinking whether or not it wants to close. Okay, yep, we get it. Cool. Oh, there we go. One of those was gonna work. The issue was, it is still like a dumb workaround. The issue is that well, the reindeer gets stuck. And so rather than like someone's reindeer getting stuck like within the first 5 seconds, and then them just not being able to play the rest of the map, I just put a bunch of reindeer. And by the way, they're essentially marbles. Like, that's their collision. And then the reindeer is just inside of it, which is how they roll around like that. And then the entire map is tilted 45 degrees so that they'll actually roll down. There are some parts where it doesn't work very well. So I have these, which are little thrusters, which just throws them into the direction they point at. Here, they would get stuck a lot, so I put a bunch of these back to back, which is why the reindeer will just shoot down this hallway here. And then this is where they end. This rail here is the camera. So whatever reindeer is closest to this rail is where it's focused on. Well, closest to it and furthest, or closest to the rail, but also closest to the end of the rail here. I'm working on making a new map of this, because this is just an asset pack. I reskinned it and added some effects so that it looks Christmassy, because naturally it doesn't look like this. It's meant to just be a fantasy pack. But I'm making a map that is meant to look a little bit more like this. I started by building this cabin. I have the terrain of the mountains. I'm trying to get the scaling just right. So I'll be working on that slowly over the course of winter. I'm not going to give any promises with release dates. I've learned my lesson. But yeah, that is the Race Christmas project. So if any of you want to see more development stuff, I will be live again in 2 days at the same time, 7 p.m. Pacific. If you're in the Discord, I think the bot has been throwing the link out every so often. I'll go ahead and do it myself. It has the updated stream time to your local time zone, so you don't need to do time conversions yourself. Also, this Friday stream is canceled. I tried to update it, but it wouldn't work. Easiest way, though, if you don't want to join the Discord, is just subscribe to the channel or follow if you're on Twitch. If you happen to be looking for something to watch and I happen to be streaming, I'll probably get recommended to you. Before you end, what's my biggest fear? What are you guys trying to do tonight? Huh? The fear of being a disappointment. When I was a kid, it used to be spiders, and then I kind of had to get out of that very quickly because there's just spiders all over the place. Spiders are kind of cool. They kill bugs. Hey, remember when we were talking about house centipedes? I have no idea what you're talking about, Hoden. What? It's crazy. Crazy. Alright. Get out of here. We'll come back again on Wednesday. But for now, go to sleep. I forgot how to end these things. When you were a kid, it was the slow anticipation of something happening. I was afraid of Iron Man 2. What? Okay, there's no... I mean, I can put the ghost on screen. It doesn't really fit. Maybe I should find a reindeer one. I think that'd be neat. Am I muted? No, I'm not. Okay. I can type in chat. Have a good night. Okay, bye.